Anybody doesn't need rocket science to predict this. Your professionals are telling you that out of the 42 training camps for terrorists in Pakistan, 36 are still active. 800 to 1,000 people from these terror training camps are waiting in launch pads to induct across, to infiltrate across. They are trying their best to revive the
Let's go to the moot. Let's go. You see, we are looking at 4 questions, Dr. Samir Kaul. Has Pakistan's intention or agenda versus Jammu and Kashmir changed? Answer is no. Is the nexus between the Pakistan Army, ISI, separatists and terrorists unknown, unexposed? The answer is no. Don't militants want the Indian army disempowered? The answer is yes. Will terrorists use the absence of the army to strengthen their network? The answer is yes. You know the implicit dangers.
I'm not negating anything that you say, and with due reverence to the generals on the panel tonight, yes, it's a too generalized statement that we don't want the army in J&K at all, and nobody's saying that. Ever since 2007, of course, there have been ups and downs with the levels of infiltration, gentlemen, but there is a political process duly which must come in. The problem comes when you start using your armed forces for to suppress your own people. When it turns inward, and that is when it happens in clustered urban areas, if the security forces, can you imagine, Arnab, that in the Chief Minister's own constituency, 2 small underage boys preferred to drown in the river and die, and they were so scared of the security forces present, and there was just some civil strife going on, nothing to do with, the general population of Jammu and Kashmir, Arnab, is not Pakistani.
Of course not.
Indians, citizens of this country.
Of course you are right.
When you get a situation where our own security forces turn in on its own population and create such a fierce scenario and create what I just told you, it is abhorrent. And I think the generals here will have enough conscience. The power of love, the soft power, should not be neglected at all. We need to deal with our own population with love.
Yes.
Well said. Generals, respond.
Arnab, let me tell the gentleman the kind of work the army is doing other than imposing security issues. The Sadbhavna operation that the army does is running schools, is making roads. When a cyclone, when an earthquake hit Kashmir, it is the army who went and helped them. We make roads, we provide them water, we provide them electricity. And now they're saying that the army is not doing its job. They're hinting towards the human rights violations.
No, he's making a bigger point.
We're not saying that at all.
The army is not in the urban areas.
We're not saying that at all.
The army is not in the urban areas.
The army is not there in Srinagar.
The mass movement that you are talking of, the army did not tackle that.
Gentlemen, I want to
just... The army is there to fight the terrorists which have been sent from across the border.
Yes, General Bakshi. The army is there to fight the terrorists, but I think...
agree with you, sir. The issue here is, just one quick issue here is that we must reconsider the unbridled use of force. I'm not talking about the army, the security forces. J&K is the second largest police force in this country. It's almost a police state where the government time and again uses the local security forces to quell civil disquiet. Be it for LPG against a cold, be it the lack of power, simple civil requirements, fundamental rights.
But they don't enjoy Armed Forces Special Power Act.
You use suppressed force. They don't. But the question is, that's why I'm asking you, is removal of ASPA the panacea that is going to completely obviate the mistrust that exists between an average citizen of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and the rest of this country? Of course not. The issue is a continuous toxicity that is, it's not just ASPA removal. That is just a distraction that the Chief Minister is using to get the focus away from misgovernance.
That's the right point. Yeah, what he's saying, what he's summing up is what is absolutely correct.
I would agree there. And I'd like to, may I just interject, Arnab? I'd like to put across 2 points. Time and again it is drummed into us that the Armed Forces Special Powers Act is a draconian legislation. I would like to just point out that the Naga People's Movement for Human Rights took this case to the Supreme Court of India and to question the constitutional validity of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. A 5-member constitutional bench of the Supreme Court, upheld the constitutional validity, and they said that the act wasn't strong enough. They added the power to interrogate to Section 4 and gave it to the army, and to the Section 6 they added the power to retain the captured weapons as evidence.
So that's
they
true.
strengthened these
So
laws.
that's true, but
For
I may
God's sake,
also
Let me just
listen.
I may
add one thing to
also
what Bakshi is saying.
sir, 1 minute. Sir, you see the member of the PDP has made a larger point, which, of course the army needs the AFSP to operate, but I think what point he's making is that the people of Kashmir are our own people. The people of Kashmir are as proud citizens of our country, and they need to be protected from an excessive use of force.
Indeed.
And you cannot justify the excessive use of force while we need to be sensitive about that. That's a limited point he's making, sir. I think that's a valid point he's making.
That's absolutely correct, Arnab.
Arnab,
Can I just make
I
one
would just
point?
like to state-
The Armed Forces Special Power Act is not applicable to the police forces. The police bill, which is under drafting in J&K, which is soon going to be introduced, is as strong as the Armed Forces Special Power Act, being given those powers to the police.
Last question.
Please ask the state government, have they considered that necessary?
Last question, Dr. Mustafa Kamal. That's an interesting point to wrap up this debate on. The question goes to you. The accusation put against you on the news is that the draft Jammu and Kashmir police bill, which is being pushed by your government, is totally similar to the Armed Forces Special Powers Act vis-a-vis the immunity it exercises to policemen. So you are empowering your own forces with powers that you criticize so vehemently. Now, I find that a complete contradiction. And don't you find it a contradiction, Dr. Kamal, as well?
Absolutely not.
Why?
The police bill will be debated by the representatives of the people in the assembly. It is in the public domain, and the government is eliciting a response from every section of the society. And a bill will only be introduced and passed if it meets those requirements. Number one.
Why was it drafted? Why was it drafted with such draconian provisions? General Bakshi has a question for you, Dr. Kamal.
That is the precise question. When that act was being drafted,
this is an issue of the removal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act from the
how
state.
How can you deny?
Don't bring in extraneous issues.
Excuse me. No,
this is the proverbial sword of Damocles.
The army is brought in when the police has failed, the paramilitary forces have failed. And how can you then use the army without the bare minimum legal cover that is given under Section 45 and 197?
Dr. Kamal's rushed response.
General
Bakshi, I allow Dr. Kamal to respond to you.
Armed Forces Special Powers Act gives to us, and when you had to legislate
Dr. Mustafa Kamal's turn.
Got the same set of laws, same set of rules.
Armed Forces Special Powers Act,
they are needed if they have to operate.
Was brought in at the request of the civil government. And the civil government is asking for its return, because the situation is not what it was when AFSPA was introduced.
Put it in writing.
It has lost its relevance.
Put it in writing.
It has lost its importance. It has done its job.
In writing. And number two, kindly listen to
nobody
your
in the
military and intelligence professionals
kind word for our armed
who are telling you what is going to happen.
No amount of justification from generals or army top brass.
Are you trying to tell me that the situation in Afghanistan next year will have no impact?
Listen
on
to
the
him,
state of
General.
Jammu and Kashmir?
Let him respond, General.
The withdrawal of the NATO and American forces.
Let him respond to you, General. I'm running short of time. Let him respond to you.
That is what you are dreaming about. That is what you are dreaming about, and frightening the Indian nation, frightening us that the Taliban will come here. It's absolutely wrong.
We are being realistic.
They have made it absolutely clear.
We are being realistic.
If you read
Any
newspapers, they made it very clear. They have no business in J&K. You want to justify
they had no business.
Law.
They had no business there earlier. Yet Robert Gates said
immune from the law of the land.
Gentlemen, I'm running short of time.
25% of the terrorists operating in J&K were from Afghanistan or had been trained there.
As far as the law is concerned.
General Bakshi,
and you can't be above the law of the land.
I think that one thing all of us agree on. And I agree on it as well. One second. I think all of us agree on one thing. We may not agree on AFSPA. What we all agree on is that a greater sensitivity by all forces, state forces and certainly the army. Some sensitivity. Well, a point Samir Kaul raises, I think we all should appreciate. Some sensitivity in the way the forces deal with the people of Kashmir will bring the people of Kashmir even closer to the hearts of the forces and vice versa. We need to work a little bit on that, and we are all proud Indians. I think the people of Jammu and Kashmir have as much of a stake in the future of this country as people from any other state in India. So I think a little bit of a reach out will work.
We have given our blood for the nation.
There's no doubting your nationalism,
You have rejected
sir.
the two-nation theory of
You make
Pakistan.
controversial remarks, but I'm not
Yes,
questioning your
absolutely.
nationalism. I am not. We'll debate that
that's
later.
Right. When government makes a mistake, when mistakes are made here, it's politics. That doesn't mean I'm anti-national.
I am not questioning
I'm
your
only
nationalism.
pointing towards your raw side.
I am not
Now,
questioning.
it is high
I
time
have, Dr. Kamal, let me say this tonight.
We face the situation head on.
Dr.
Internal
Kamal-
dimensions have to be addressed.
Dr. Kamal,
The recommendations of the working groups of the Prime Minister have not been given
Dr. Kamal,
consideration.
I want to place-
Interlocutors appointed by the Home Minister,
Placing
their
it on record.
recommendations have gone down the drain.
Dr. Kamal, I'm placing it on record that in the past, in the past, Dr. Kamal, because I'm running short of time, I want to say something to you. In the past, I have often criticized individual and specific comments made by you. That is our right to disagree, but I have not questioned your nationalism. I'm making that point tonight. I've questioned some comments you've made, but I have not questioned your nationalism. I know that you know that I have not done that. So, gentlemen, let's do a reach out campaign in Jammu and Kashmir. Reach out to the hearts of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you very much. We'll debate AFSPA again on the News Hour. Thank you.